That's right, it's that movie with the blue-haired girl. And these Coraline theories have been popping up on my For You page for a couple of days, and I was like, oh wow, these theories are so interesting, and I want to be able to share these theories with you guys. So if you haven't watched Coraline before, you have to watch Coraline. It's one of my movie recommendations. I also did like some other research for Coraline theories, and I was mind blown, to be honest. So let's just get started. So the first theory is why Mr. Bonbinsky is blue. So Mr. Bonbinsky is Coraline's neighbor, right? Mr. Bonbinsky is Coraline's unusual Russian neighbor with a circus of performing mice. Apart from his offbeat nature, exceptional height, and peat-based diet, Bonbinsky also stands out for his blue skin. It might seem as though the character's unusual hue may have been a simple creative decision. However, a Reddit user called Bonkers303 has another theory. Upon closer inspection, viewers may notice Bonbinsky wears a medal on his chest that reads 4A3C. The medal was awarded for service following the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear disaster. It is also adorned with 3 droplets of blood, possibly indicating the level of radiation to which he was subjected. Fans wonder whether his involvement in Chernobyl might be the reason behind Bonbinsky's blue skin. So, fans were speculating that Bonbinsky's blue skin was caused by intense radiation. So, theory number 2. The Beldam had a son. The backstory of Beldam, Coraline's demonic shape-shifting villain, is a mystery. Viewers are no closer to understanding who she really is at the end of the film than they were at the beginning. Fans have attempted to figure out how she came to live in the Pink Palace possible they don't age at a normal state. That actually might be true. Coraline theory number 4. The Beldam Won. The most disturbing fan theory involves speculation the Beldam actually won in the end, leaving Coraline trapped in the other world. This theory also comes from the fangirl on YouTube. Theorists point to the final shot of the garden, which so closely resembles its counterpart in the other world. Coraline also sees her parents in a mirror in the real pink palace while they are trapped in their snow globe. Will the Beldam really be able to conjure such an image outside the other world? It's also strange that such a dark film could end so happily, with every loose end tied up. Kat's disappearance from the pink Palestine shows that magic still exists. So in the ending scene of Coraline, we see the cat disappear through the sign of the pink palace, which speculates that magic is still happening, in which magic couldn't be happening in the real world. So Coraline must be in the other world. You know, she never made it out, actually. Coraline theory number 5 is, what's with all the bugs? The bug that the Beldam eats, you know. Okay, the Coraline bug theory isn't so much a theory as it is a fascinating and creepy examination of the movie bug motive. The Laika studio film is quite literally crawling with dragonflies, beetles, mosquitoes, praying mantises, and yes, spiders, among other 6- and 8th-legged creatures. YouTuber Karsten Rundquist coined the term Coraline bug theory in his popular 2021 video, but it owes much to an essay written more than a decade earlier by cultural entomologist Emmett Brady. In short, Coraline's countless creepy crawlies aren't there simply to give audiences shivers. They're rooted in folk beliefs. Dragonflies are also known as the devil's darning needles, and in the film's themes, the lore of Coraline has been significantly expanded by its fandom. Although none of these theories are technically canon, they are undeniably intriguing and chilling. So, that's like some of the theories I found on one website. I would like to read another one. I think it's like similar, but it's more detailed. So, this is from another website. So, did Coraline make it out of the other world? The answer is no. In fact, she never left at all. In the book, when Coraline meets the ghost children, they tell her that once they saw the Beldam, they never saw their true mothers again. Isn't it odd that Coraline has to use the portal door to enter the other world, but she never goes back through it to leave? This is because this is all a game of cat and mouse. Each time Coraline goes to sleep in the other world, she is just going one layer deeper into that dimension. When she awakes in the real world, it's just an illusion the Beldam crafted. The only way out is through the door, and there is only one key. But at the end of the movie, Coraline has thrown her one way out down a well, and because of that, she will never be able to leave. Here is where the theory turns into a little Lovecraftian. When Coraline is trying to escape the other world, she notices the tunnel feels longer every time she uses it, and steeper, as if she is climbing upwards. That is because the other world is actually a very large and very ancient beast. Since She's actually just going deeper into the belly of the beast. In the book, Coraline says that the tunnel sounds like it's breathing, and when she reaches out her hand, it feels like she's put it in someone's mouth. That is creepy. What exactly is the beast? It could be a large mother rat using her rat children to help feed her. There is a line in the book when Coraline touches the walls of the portal tunnel where she says it felt fur-like. She also says that whatever it is far older than the other mother. It's deep, slow, and aware of her presence. On her last attempt to escape, Coraline also feels something scuttled between her feet in the dark, trying to trip her. That sounds like a smaller rat running past her. And consider this quote from the book. "We are small, but we are many. We are many, but we are small. We were here before you rose. We will be here when you fall." In the movie, the cat that Coraline befriends also says the other mother hates cats. Is it because the other mother is scared of the rat beast she is living in and doesn't want to upset it by allowing the cat to run around and kill rats? The next part of the theory suggests that the other mother used to be human, and when she got trapped in the other world, she only had her sewing room to hide in. When she realized she was getting old and dying, she used items in her sewing room to keep her looking young, hence the button eyes. But the other mother also needs to feed, and a child's soul can keep her sustained for years. Remember her cracked porcelain face. The other mother hasn't had a child to feed on for a while, and her porcelain face is chipping away. What's more, the rat beast is also feeding on the other mother's life force, and she is stuck in this world just like Coraline is. So Coraline didn't make it out of the rat beast limbo world. She was able to get away from the other mother. Without Coraline, the Beldam died. This next part is truly terrifying. With the Beldam gone, the rat beast will need to feed on something. This theory concludes with the idea that Coraline will now become the next Beldam, and she will have to lure in children to feed on. Coraline becoming the next witch was subtly hinted at by her father calling her his twitchy witchy girl. There are a ton of other theories about Coraline and the other world, but this is by far the most terrifying one actually. Because this theory is pretty heavy, it's like pretty out of the track, but if you think about it, it might be true, you know. So the next theory is Coraline's parents let her dye her hair to make up for their cross-country move. So one of Coraline's most defining features is her bright blue hair. However, a family photo in the Jonas' bedroom shows a young Coraline with brown hair. The fangirl provides an explanation for why Charlie and Mel will allow their 11-year-old daughter to dye her hair blue. Perhaps Coraline's hair transformation was a consolation from her parents, who completely uprooted her life in Michigan. Allowing her to have one measure of control could have helped ease the stress of moving across the country and leaving her friends behind. This seems even more likely given Mel's frequent bargaining with her daughter. She's constantly asking her to behave and makes repeated promises to atone for their difficult situation. And the next tells Coraline that his grandmother, who rents out the Pink Palace, never accepts tenants with children. We later learn this is because she lost her twin sister to the Beldam, and she wants to ensure the Beldam won't take another life. But perhaps YB's age and his growing fascination with the Pink Palace leads to Mrs. Lovatt to allow the Jonases to move in with Coraline, meaning their young daughter will become Beldam's next target instead of YB. Early in the film, YB gives Coraline the doll that the Beldam fashioned in her image. Mrs. Lovatt likely tossed the doll down the well, which some believe is the original portal to the other world, then boarded it up to ensure the doll will never come back. When the doll returns, now modeled after Coraline, perhaps Mrs. Lovatt accidentally leaves her trunk open so YB can find the doll and give it to his new friend. This will explain why it suddenly emerges after being locked up for decades, as well as why Mrs. Lovatt frantically demands the doll back toward the end of the movie. She may have second-guessed herself once YB shared Coraline's horrific account of the other world. The next theory is Beldam sews buttons into children's eyes because her illusions uses all her energy. So, YouTuber The Theorizer believes the Beldam's first target, the ghost Coraline, referred to as the Pioneer Girl, was lured into the other world in much the same way as Coraline. However, the Beldam couldn't find enough energy to keep up with her intricate illusions, and she feared the other world's true nature will be revealed. She offered the girl a deal: buttons sewed into her eyes in exchange for a permanent home in the other world. The girl lost her sight and remained trapped in the Beldam's lair. The Beldam could then allow her lair to revert to its barren state of an empty hexagonal room, thus conserving her energy. She fed off the girl's life force until she perished and began the cycle again. When Huck Finn Jr. moved into the Pink Palace, this cycle continued when the Lovatts moved in. A theory from the fangirl worked in tandem with the above idea. She proposes that the Beldam eats the children's life force in order to sustain herself, and that energy is derived from the love they feel toward her as a mother. This will explain how the Beldam has survived for decades, why she chooses her targets, and why she uses button eyes. This last theory is an interesting one. The black cat is YB's great-grandfather. The black cat is one of the most mysterious and suspicious characters in the entire film. His origins are unclear. He has a great deal of knowledge about the Beldam and her lair, and he can somehow talk to humans in the other world. He also seems very attached to YB, but is this mere coincidence? The Theorizer believes that the cat is so concerned with the Beldam scheme and the Lovatt family because he's actually YB's great-grandfather. The Theorizer points out that the cat seems very protective of not only YB, but also Coraline. This may be because he lost his daughter, Mr. Lovatt's twin sister, to the Beldam many years ago, and doesn't want to see another young girl fall prey to the creature. This would also explain his opposition to the once challenged her to a game in order to win back his daughter's soul. He also tells Coraline that the Beldam doesn't play fair. This may hint at the fact that he once challenged her. She cheated to win, and his price for losing was being transformed